Hey, Husker fans, Sam McKewo'n with the Omaha World-Herald and Husker Extra, and it is never a quiet week in Huskerville, is it? Hello, everybody. This is the three keys for Nebraska and USC, and we got a storyline, don't we? Dana Holgorsen in town to call the plays and coordinate the offense for the Huskers. He has not called a play for Nebraska. He has not coordinated a day or a game. And here he is, after 21 games of the Matt Rhule era. Rhule invites Holgorsen, the former West Virginia and Houston head coach, to come in and basically run the offense after almost 2 seasons. Rhule said it was unique. It is unique. He said it was bold. It is absolutely bold. It is different, man. It is totally different. And, of course, they're going to go to Hollywood. Holgo in Hollywood. That's the best singing I can do. Okay, I'm sorry. That's the best I can do. Nebraska going to Hollywood to play USC, Tinseltown, whatever you want to call it, LA Coliseum. I've never been there. I'm looking forward to going. Nebraska needs a win to get a bowl. They have 3 chances to do it. USC's the first of those games. The Trojans starting a new quarterback in Jaden Maeva. They're struggling too. They're 4-5 overall. Nebraska's 5-4. The Huskers are a 9-point underdog. I think some of that has to do with the question mark around Dylan Raiola. And we'll see if he's able to play. If he's not able to play, I think it's going to be hard for Nebraska to win the game. If he is able to play, I think Nebraska's got, obviously, a better chance. All right, let's get into it. Key number 1, Holgo in Hollywood. I already said it. He's got to be the guy that goes out there and makes this thing happen. I'm not saying he's Clint Eastwood, but he's got to find a way to win a Western, to go out and infuse confidence in Nebraska's offense, get them to play free, get them to play with an explosive style, get them to throw the ball around the yard when they need to, and get them to run the football a little bit more efficiently. I don't know if Holgorsen can fix all these things in the course of about 12 days. I think it's actually quite hard to do so, but I think he's got a chance to do it. And we'll see what happens. I think Nebraska can play with a little bit more pace. They can get their receivers going a little bit, move a little bit faster against the defense. I think they can try to get a few more downfield passes, and they can, again, just play with a culture of urgency. And I felt like against UCLA, even when they would make big plays, it was big play, clomp, 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 up to the ball, huddle up, look around, not sure, hand it off, 1 yard, clomp, clomp. They got to stop that. They got to play with some pace. They got to play with some excitement. They got to play with a pep in their step, and I think Holgorsen can give them that. We'll see if it pays off, but I do think he's got a script and a style that will assist the Huskers. Key number 2, opening scenes, and this is where I think Nebraska, it's a movie thing, by the way. Nebraska's got to get going early in this game. They got to start well. They have to score on one of their early drives. They had to get some stops early. I think it's really important for them to get after Jaden Maeva. This guy has not played much college football at all. And he played at UNLV. Now he's here. He hasn't played much for USC because USC's been in dogfights all year. So Miller Moss has been doing most of it. I think they benched Moss just to kind of get a change. Miller Moss is a pretty good quarterback, folks. I think Nebraska would take him tomorrow in the sense of like, hey, this guy's more experienced than Dylan Raiola is. But he has not been able to get it going for USC, and he's not mobile. So here comes Maeva. You have to think that USC's going to have a plan for him in terms of his mobility. Nebraska needs to get after this guy. They got to put him in long yardage situations early, and they got to put him in the hurt locker. And I don't mean like they need to hurt him, but they need to put him in a situation where he's confused, where he's a little banged up, and he's upset. And if you can do that in the first half against Maeva, and you can put 10, 14 points on the board and go to break with a 10-6 lead, you're in good shape. Because that USC offense is going to be looking for a reason to believe and looking for a reason to have confidence. And if Maeva does not give that to them, Lincoln Riley is going to go into halftime, and what you hope is that you're up 10-3, and Lincoln Riley needs to decide whether he's going back to Miller Moss or he's sticking with the mobile quarterback. And I think Nebraska's defense has to get off to a hot start. Ditto for Nebraska's offense. Hit some big plays. Don't think you're going to win this thing in the 11th and 12th round with some good boxing. No. Get off to a good start. Put this team in the earth. I know that the one time Nebraska did that last year and they got up to a 14-0 lead on Wisconsin, it didn't pay off. But, hey, it's a heck of a lot better than not getting off to a 14-0 lead, right? So get off to a fast lead. Key number 3 is Rare Sierra, and that being Sierra Wright, the former USC cornerback. And he's been one of Nebraska's best players this year. I think he was probably not going to be a starter at USC, but he's definitely a starter right now for the Huskers. And this is really not just about Sierra Wright, the former Trojan, but it's about Nebraska's entire defense. They have to defend the pass, and I think they could be as healthy as they've been in the secondary for some time. I think you're going to get a healthy Tommy Hill. I think you're going to get a relatively healthy Malcolm Hartzog. I think Marquise Buford might be decent. I think you're going to have a situation to have maybe your best secondary in a while because Sear Wright has stayed healthy, and he's been pretty darn good for the Huskers. And so I think Sear Wright's going to help him. There's probably not going to be a Jeremiah Barnes on the field for very long to get picked on the way UCLA picked on the redshirt freshman for 8 plays until he was pulled. So I do think this is going to be a healthy defense. They got to be an aggressive defense. They got to get after Maeva. You cannot give this guy time. You give this guy time and he's not able to find people, he will run around and he will get first downs because he's a tall and fast and just heavy runner. Good player. But he's new and he's green, right? He hasn't done this a lot. And so Nebraska's got to find a way to get after him. If they can do that, they can get after him. If Nebraska can get a quick start on offense and Dana Holgorsen can get this offense with a little bit more pace, a little bit more urgency, a little bit more crispness, a little bit more execution, a little bit more like Indiana, Nebraska might win this game. I don't love their chances because I do think USC's got players, and I'm not sure Dylan Raiola is going to be 100% even if he does play. But if Nebraska does those 3 things, I think they've got a chance to win in the LA Coliseum, and they would be able to light the torch for a bowl berth, the first one since 2016. Okay, that is the 3 keys for Nebraska USC. I'm Sam McKewon with the Omaha World-Herald and Husker Extra.